If you're wondering about the weather to begin this new week, well, so are we. Let's find out what's coming up next from Clay Smith.
Well, David, so far for your Monday, the weather from this weekend is actually carried over into the first part of your work week. We're now at 84 in Chattanooga, so another toasty afternoon, but changes are on the way. We're tracking a cold front that's pushing across portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and Middle Tennessee, and cooler air is going to start to filter in behind that. So Tuesday, we're going to be nearly 20 degrees cooler than what we've been dealing with the last several days. So if you're kind of tired of the 80s already, it's going to be a lot cooler for your Tuesday. But you can already see that cool down starting to take place along the plateau. Altamont now at 70, which is nearly 15 degrees cooler than what we're dealing with here in Chattanooga, 82 in Fort Payne, 84 in Cleveland, and we're going to stay locked into the 80s, especially into the valley in northwest Georgia, all the way into western North Carolina for the next several hours before sunset, and then we'll finally start to fall back into the 70s and eventually the 60s. But again, here's that cold front, showers and storms breaking out from really Arkansas all the way into Middle Tennessee, but notice there's a lot of breaks. So this is going to be very on and off in coverage as we go into the overnight hours. And as we zoom in locally, again, things are dry here across the valley. So no issues out there for your drive home from work, which is always good news. But here's that initial batch of storms starting to move along I-65 near Huntsville. And these storms will start to push in along the plateau within the next 2 or 3 hours and gradually increase in coverage as we go through the overnight hours. But again, as we take a look at downtown Chattanooga, still a lot of blue out there using our Holiday Inn cam. Also some clouds starting to stream in, and that cloud cover will start to become a little more covered over much of the area as we go into the latter half of the evening. So again, cloud cover increases, rain chances arrive after about 9 o'clock, and then we're going to be tracking on and off showers as we go into the early overnight hours and early Tuesday morning, excuse me. David?
Thank you, Clay. We'll check back with you later. This is National Donate Life Month. It's an effort to educate everybody on organ donation and highlight the importance of donating organs. We get more from Cornelia Nicholson.
2012, Lisa Ferris was diagnosed with a rare disease that damaged her lungs. She became one of the thousands of Tennesseans in desperate need of an organ transplant. Ferris says she became dependent on an oxygen tank to breathe.
You couldn't be separated. You were a prisoner to a tank to live. Which, is always scary.
2 years later, Ferris says her life changed. She received a double lung transplant, and after years of relying on an oxygen tank, she recalls the moment she no longer needed it.
I can't tell you how scary it was to take that first breath, but it's so freeing, to be able to breathe on your own and not be dependent on some machine for your life. It's indescribable.
Ferris says the transplant allowed her to be there for special moments with her family, which is why Park Ridge Medical Center is recognizing Donate Life Month through several awareness campaigns,
including raising the flag for awareness. Also, Tennessee Donors is very proactive in helping us train the staff here.
Denise Fugit with Tennessee Donor Services says the month is a chance to raise awareness for the need of donors and honor survivors like Ferris. She says just one organ donor has the ability to save 8 lives.
Having 7 donors in 2021 was significant, especially for the 20 people whose lives were saved through those gifts.
Ferris says she knows it can be a difficult decision to decide to become a donor and is grateful to those giving the gift of life to others.
For those like me that are out there struggling for life and want that second chance.
In Chattanooga, Cornelia Nicholson, Local 3 News.
Registering to donate is a very simple process. You just check yes or no on your license, application, or renewal form, and we hope you'll check yes. You can head to our website for more information on registering. It's a happy day as we begin a new season of On Par with Paul. Paul Shaheen takes us to some of our most challenging golf courses, and we begin with the Choo Choo Invitational at Council Fire.
On Par with Paul, sponsored by Linderman's Furniture. Shop now and save at Linderman's Furniture, North Georgia's best kept secret.
Welcome back, everyone. On Par with Paul Season 3 begins at a familiar place, Council Fire. with an unfamiliar hole. The Choo Choo Invite, for 9 years going on 10, has been hosted right here at Council Fire. But this year, they've created a challenging new finishing hole by flipping 9 and 18 with a new tee box. The great place to start On Par with Paul Season 3. Okay, who better to help us break down the new finishing hole at the Choo Choo than the founder and director of the Choo Choo Invite himself, Chris Schmidt, joining us. This is year number 10.
It is.
To celebrate, we are standing on a new tee box.
We are.
A very challenging finishing hole. Tell me a little more about it.
We built the tee box in the wintertime to really challenge the players, the best players in the world, amateur players that are coming here. And I think this is very fitting. This is a good, it's a momentous opportunity for a young man to take our trophy home. That's it pretty well right there, my friend.
Did we even clear though?
No, don't think so.
So 262 to clear the hazard.
Yes.
To many of you at home right now, you're sitting on your couch thinking 262 all day. I've got that.
Oh
clear
yeah,
hazard.
Everybody carries a 280.
You stand out here with this wind, and it's not just 262 to clear that hazard. Gosh, this is impossible to hit that fairway.
That's the interesting thing of the hole. Not only you clearing the hazard, but you've got the hazard to the left, you got a hazard to the right.
Wind in our face. We didn't clear.
No clear.
We've dropped our balls where we think the young guns are going to land their tee shots, which is about a 306-yard drive from there into a narrow landing pad.
I'd say about 190, add 10 more to that, 190-yard shot. But the place to miss this hole
is on the right.
Is on the left.
Okay. Why? That's good.
If you miss it on the right, the chances of you two-putting in are pretty slim and none.
So you said left, but probably not that far left, right?
No, not that far left, but it will be one of our Choo Choo hole locations in the far left.
Will they go at that?
Oh, yes. It would make sense to think you could miss it to the right.
That's what I was thinking as well.
But when you get up here, you'll see. So that's the reason why they'll three-putt right there. History is played to, it plays over par even from our old back tee box.
Yeah.
But
hey, here on Par with Paul, we know a lot about playing over par.
Well, we can play over par today too.
I missed left, which right now in the springtime isn't all that bad. Come summer when they're playing the Choo Choo, this rough over here, as Chris says, is going to be a menace to deal with. Much thicker.
It's very difficult, it's a challenge, and they're going to be required to hit 4 of their best shots to finish our tournament off. That's awesome.
First putt of the year?
First putt of the year?
Hey.
It's going to be a good year for you.
Let me just see this. Last putt of the year. Well, that's it. If the goal was to make the new finishing hole of the Choo Choo Invite very difficult for some of the toughest amateur players in the world, mission accomplished. I can testify. Easily one of the tougher holes inside city limits. Council Fire's hidden hole number 18 for the Choo Choo Invite. This has been episode 1 of On Par with Paul Season 3. Where to next? Tune in to find out.
Thank you, Paul. Our old friend Paul Barris has another adoptable pet. This week, he has found Bliss. Yes, that's the name of a calico cat. Hey, Paul.
Hi, everybody. I've got a wonderful little kitty cat for you. A very sweet cat and a beautiful cat, too. It's calico. And this is Bliss. Bliss is about 6 years old. When she was put on my lap here, all she started doing was purring right away. So she's going to be a sweet cat for you. She's sort of middle-aged, 6 years old for a cat she's not a kitty cat anymore, but she's not, a full-grown cat. And Bliss is female. And she's also, we have to let you know, she's FIV positive. That means a feline immune problem. It means she can get sick easier. And this type of cat also should be, she's sweet as can be, but she needs to be away from other cats who aren't FIV, otherwise they can give it to each other. But Bliss is fine. She's doing good. There's no problem there. And she's going to be available at the Humane Society coming up tomorrow at noon, 4155 Randolph Circle. Oh, look. Oh, I think she's in heaven right now. That's right. She's closing her eyes. She loves She's gonna be a lap cat. That's what she's gonna be. She's gonna be sitting on your lap, purring for you for the rest of her life. And she's going to be just a wonderful, wonderful little kitty cat for somebody. So don't be afraid of the FIV thing. You just don't. You can't give it to other dogs or people or anything like that. It's just that other cats can catch it. So sometimes, unless you've got an FIV cat already at your house, you may want to keep her away from other cats. And definitely, I wouldn't let her roam outdoors at all. But Bliss is our kitty cat for this week, and I hope you think about it and come out to the Humane Society.
How about that? Thank you, Paul. If you'd like to adopt Bliss or any of the other animals, you can make an appointment or just stop by. And there you see the address. They're open Monday through Saturday, noon to 5. A woman convicted of shooting and killing a man on Labor Day in 2018 has been sentenced to life in prison. Iesha Jones was found guilty last month of shooting Norman Sullivan. The felony murder charge already holds a life sentence. Our Iesha Jones was in the courtroom and has more.
Iesha Jones entered the courtroom, approached the podium, and made a statement to the victim's family. She says her actions were a mistake.
My name is Iesha Jones. I want to apologize to the family of Norman Sullivan. Everything was a mistake. It was an accident that happened.
Iesha Jones's defense attorney, Hannah Stokes, argued she is already facing a life sentence for first-degree felony murder and the range of years in prison for other charges, voluntary manslaughter, aggravated robbery, and reckless endangerment, should receive the lowest sentences possible.
It requires the court to consider all of these things and anything that might be relevant to her sentencing. She has already received a life sentence for the felony murder count. Your Honor, if she lives to finish out that life sentence, she will be 76 years old. And we would argue that as to the other 3 counts, that life sentence is more than plenty to punish her for any involvement in this. We would ask that all of the counts, the court would impose the lowest sentence possible in the range, and that they would run concurrently with the life sentence, Your Honor.
And Charlene Davis, the supervising prosecutor on the case, argued Miss Jones did not do this act by accident, and she had the absolute intention to kill Norman Sullivan.
She understood that Mr. Gillespie had a gun and demanded that he give her that gun throughout the course of this offense. So there's no mistake about it. There's no accident. There is no minor role that she played in it. She took a very active step to participate in this particular offense.
Judge Don Poole reiterated it was a very sad event with sad consequences.
Just like a lot of the cases, sadly, that come before the court, absolutely no reason why life was taken in this case. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever, but a life was taken.
He continued with her full sentencing. She received 6 years for voluntary manslaughter, which will be merged into her first-degree felony murder life sentence. Aggravated robbery, 20 years. Reckless endangerment, 2 years.
All those sentences, and I take into consideration, she's got a life sentence already. She's young, but assuming that she served that sentence, she'll be a great deal over it. I'm saddened about that. Saddened that anybody has to go to the penitentiary. All those sentences will be concurrent with each other.
Reporting at the Hamilton County Courthouse, Iesha Jones, Local 3 News.